on the sale of another house. What the heck is that? I know we haven't seen that in a number of years. It's 2023, and for the past 3 years, you've had to sell your house, be ready to go, and hopefully get a rent back in your house to be able to buy the new one. Not anymore. So now we're seeing that we can write a contingent offer, and that means that basically there's one of two ways it can go as a seller. You can take a contract completely contingent. That means you have to take your house off the market. The buyers are going to go ahead and do their home inspection. They're going to get their loan ready. They're going to get their house ready, and they're going to get their house on the market if it's not already. And they're going to get their house sold before they can close on your house. And so in taking it off the market, it depends on how quickly the buyer can get that house on the market, and how quickly that house gets sold and closed depends on how quickly you close and how much time you lose, quote unquote, on the market. If something happens, everything blows up and you have to go back on market. So that's one way to do a contingent offer. And in that, you can actually specify, we can write out, you need your house on the market by this day, we need it sold by this day, if it's not closed by this day, this all nullifies and we can go back on market. So you can actually put dates in there to protect you as the seller and make sure that you are not off the market too long in case something happens. Now, there's a second way you can do a contingent contract that is more friendly to you as a seller and a little less friendly to the buyer, but sort of also lights a fire under them to make sure they get their house sold quickly. So you can do what's called a first right of refusal. A first right of refusal is when a buyer comes in and says, hey, here's my offer. We've negotiated this whole offer. This is what we want to do. You and the buyer are in agreement to it. And they go, but we got to sell a house first. And so we want to make a first right of refusal where you can continue as the seller to market the house. You can continue to put the house out there. People can still come in. People can come see your house. People can even make offers on your house. However, if they make an offer on your house, in your first right of refusal paperwork, it says how long you have to call that first buyer and how long they have to make a basically decision of, are they going to remove the first right of refusal? Can they remove the first right of refusal? And if they can, then that second offer, even if it's better, even if it's higher, can't be taken. However, if the buyer says, hey, I haven't sold my house yet, I cannot remove this first right of refusal, like it's on the market or it hasn't closed yet, or whatever your terms are, then you can negotiate with the second offer you have. Now, difference is, taking it a completely contingent means you take your house off the market, you cannot market it anymore, and you are under contract. The buyer now has to put their house on the market or get it sold if it is on the market and get it closed before they buy yours. A first right of refusal says, hey, we have first right to it, but you as a seller don't have to take your house off the market. The buyer still has to put their house on the market, still has to get it sold, and still has to close it to buy your house, but they usually take that first right of refusal off when they go under contract with their house, and then they start doing all their inspections and their appraisal. So know that in the first option, the inspections and the appraisal are done immediately. In the second option, the inspections and appraisal aren't done until that first right's taken off. So those are the differences of the contingencies that you can see when trying to buy a house when you own a house that we haven't seen in a number of years. But if you talk to your parents, they probably did it a ton of times because it was something that was normal back then and is becoming normal again today. If you've got more questions as a buyer or seller of how that works, we at Oak Realty have a ton of experience with this, and we're actually really excited to see this come back on the market and have the availability for you to be able to do it, because it makes your life not as stressful in having to sell your house and purchase a house that quick. So give us a call, shoot us a text. We'd love to chat with you. I'm Casey Jenkins with Oak Realty, and don't forget to like and subscribe.